Hey, what's up, everybody? For those who's watching this pre-recorded episode, why others like that's on YouTube Live, um, Archer J on TikTok, and also WFSO Radio Network on Facebook. That's live as well. Yeah, welcome to WFSO Aftermath. Before I go on, but I think and I'm hope next Monday will be the final Monday that we do Aftermath before we move back to Sunday. Hopefully, because as of late, I've been scheduled to work on Sundays, and normally I don't work on Sundays because they just don't schedule me. So as of late, they have. So it's like, what more can you do? And plus, Sundays at the job I'm at, it's really it has its like on the mostly off days that it gets busy like at some point, but the rest of the time it just gets so slow. You try to find stuff to do. So for me yesterday, it was kind of like the I was done with everything I needed to do an hour early. So I was asking from like other coworkers, like, there anything for me to do? You want me? I'll do this. You keep doing what you're doing or whatever. So just mainly to try to keep myself busy. So
Yeah, at home I have to nag
because at the home we was all the relaxing domain. No, I'm just kidding, but
you. Okay,
yeah,
with things.
don't do that.
Don't like that.
Because I ain't gonna do like I did last time. I had to hold off the show for something else. So let's just put it that way. Y'all didn't see it, so don't worry about. Uh, Today's show, we're gonna talk about Marvel and DC updates, and it's like, where we going? Chili's. Anyway, Marvel DC update is a lot of updates been going on, especially the cast of X Men. Well, part of the cast they named so far, and plus Disney got D23 this coming weekend. And of course, they probably gonna name like the full cast at that part. So plus other Marvel updates, their 2028 schedule after Secret Wars. So 3 movies will be out in 2028, and of course y'all know some of the announcements that they did at San Diego Comic Con, which cool news. But so talk about comic book stuff. Of course, like I said, for the people that's on live, also we're gonna talk about the preseason schedule for the Bucks. So that means they're very close to announcing the full schedule, which they probably would do at the end of this week. Um, of course, some Bucks comedic stuff. So we see some wrestling stuff right along the way on looking at X. Might as well talk about that as well, and wrestling news if there's anything interesting. So first we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna start with like comic book movies and TV news. Um, Second weekend, Spider-Man has been on theaters on for brand new day, and they actually surpassed Avengers. The
Surpassed.
Yeah, I mean, the original Avengers, that kind of like ended, phase one. So yeah, they passed them because Avengers made in total in theaters 1.3 million. I mean billion. Sorry, 1.3 billion. And now Spider-Man Brand New Day is right now they at 1.5 billion. So congrats to them. And I think it's going to keep going from there. So let's see. Just looking at the news. Not much important, but there's just rumors out there. They're gonna stop doing Marvel TV when it comes to the MCU because half of the people claim they're not interested in it because they think it's a little too much. You know what I'm gonna say to those people? Besides that and that, they're lazy. That's all it is. They're lazy. They can like what they call those when you like binge watch. Yeah, they can binge watch like other things, but they afraid to like binge watch the MCU. It's like, seriously? And of course, the Lanterns, part of the DCU, that's going to start this coming Sunday. So like all eight, it's going to be 8 episodes, and I think the last episode they have will be October 4th. So that'd be interesting. Oh yeah, so they ain't calling off DCU's head when it comes to like TV series, but fans won't be upset with Marvel because they think it's a little too much. Like, oh my god. Um, Spider-Man: Brand New Day is now the biggest Hollywood film of all time in India. Well, good for them. Okay, don't care about people's personal life. God, I'm keep on thinking that was your phone.
What, making the chicken?
Yeah, I know who it is. Oh my god. Spider-Man: Brand New Day is tracking to earn 2.5 billion in its box office run. Will likely become the third highest grossing movie of all time. But then again, you probably got some people getting sick or tired of Avatar, so.
Too long.
Oh, you think it's too long?
They're good movies, but
It's too long. Question: had you seen the third one?
nope.
Let's see. We just talked about that. Of course, actors lying about they don't know anything. So, Daredevil will not be in Secret Wars, and what? Spider-Man: Brand New Day has surpassed the total theoretical gross of Avengers: Age of Ultron, but it was the first Avenger, so I don't know why they get Age of Ultron for, and they ain't passed them yet, but they're close. But yeah, they didn't pass them yet. Let's see. Of course, they was talking about things about Spider-Man 5. They say it may end up in theaters 2029. Um, yeah, so this what you see right here with the cast of Cyclops and the new X-Men. Hey, my cousin's on.
Which one?
Shamara, let's see. I just got here. We binge watch MCU, but can we start with Iron Man, please? Not Spider-Man.
Do you know what? She needs to go have several seats for that comment right there. We start with Spider-Man.
uh, no, you do got a good point because the MCU all started with Iron Man.
I'm
But
going back further. I'm going back to Tobey Maguire days.
well, you might as well say what kind of saved Marvel when it comes to like movies. It was none other than Blade.
God bless Blade.
And the sad thing is like they could not figure out what to do with the new Blade that they talk about. They're gonna do a reboot of this and that since 2019.
Oh, I can figure it. Sorry.
Well,
Sorry.
there is like good news that Blade will be part of the Midnight Suns movie. It's in development, but don't know when it's going to be released. Maybe 2029, 2030. Who knows? Well, wish we will get to the 2028 schedule of MCU movies that will be out. So this one is let's just say Marvel Studios strongly was interested in Cooper Hoffman for the role of Cyclops in the X-Men reboot. If y'all don't know who he was on The Long Walk, which was an awesome movie. So can't complain about that. But Kit Connor, I don't know who he is, but he ended up getting the role instead of Cyclops. So Cyclops is officially cast, and everybody already know who Jean Grey is casted. If you saw Spider-Man: Brand New Day, you probably already know the story. Yep, that's right. Well, I wouldn't say he like kind of started the MCU. He's kind of started, the Marvel movie franchise that everybody started liking. Because they had movies before that, and this sucks that they had the unreleased Fantastic Four movie, like in the early '90s, that never was out. So I'm kind of disappointed in that because it still would have been something to see, even they re-release it, still be interesting. Um, Punisher. I don't know if that. No, it was Captain America. I think that was the TV series was Captain America. Then you had TV series of Incredible Hulk, TV series of Spider Man, like live action. But the first movie that ever came out for like Marvel, I would not know. And surprisingly so, they had the movie called Man Thing. If y'all know in Marvel Comics who Man Thing is, and no, he kind of made his MCU debut on the special presentation of Werewolf by Night. So you saw him on there. Emily Commoner, welcome to the live. I appreciate it. Um, let's see. Well, y'all saw that already. Like I said, we already. So, I know that the rumors out there. You got Ned that's gonna end up being like the Hobgoblin, another Spider-Man villain. But after if you saw Spider-Man Brand New Day and all that, I think it's too soon to have that. Superhero movie genre was at a low. Yeah, that's true. Uh, if you might have forgot, cuz, but Michael B. Jordan was already in the MCU as Killmonger. If you saw the first two Black Panther movies, and also the anime TV series of What If. So you get a chance, check those out. Because I thought he did pretty good in the Black Panther movie and Black Panther 2, although it was like a short cameo, but he was on there. And of course, like I said, check out Marvel's What If. It's probably the most underrated TV show out there. One of the most underrated, as I call it. But let's see. Pass. Of course, we knew that one. Okay, what they put out the other stuff? Uh. Okay, so those who's watching, and I'm gonna let y'all guys know. Yeah, but the thing is, like, cause they already had somebody cast as Blade. He's still gonna be in the MCU, but they're not gonna start like his solo movie right away, like they was trying to do, because they claimed they couldn't figure out what to do with him. If you put him like in a multiverse saga, you can have him meet up with the original Blade, which is kind of too late because they did that with Deadpool and Wolverine, where Wesley Snipes' Blade on that movie. So they could have had them cross paths in the multiverse saga. I just don't see how writers just don't know how to like write Blade. If you want to put him in the saga multiverse, that would have worked. If you try to put him like in the mutant saga, you gotta at least have him either have like a mutant villain or like a mutant on this side. They have him be in the like mutant saga. That's what I mean. Because kind of they're gonna do that with the Midnight Suns, but they had to at least have like a mutant on there. So that's just my take. Okay, so Marvel Studios 2028 release schedule. X-Men will be first. They said it was sometime in May of 2028. I think it was like May 5th or something like that. I could have got the wrong date, but I know it's going to be early May when the X-Men movie will come out, because they're going to start shooting either late this year or early parts of next year. They're going to start shooting. Ghost Rider, if y'all know, Ryan Gosling is cast as Ghost Rider now. So that was mentioned last month, as the missus doesn't like it.
Nope.
So that will be in July, and if y'all saw Ironheart, you know who Mephisto is. So he's supposed to be the main villain on that one. So it's gonna be like a tough competition because Mephisto is gonna like last longer, you know, past Ghost Rider. So who knows? Because you know they got to build up for the Midnight Suns. So yeah, that will be in July, and if y'all don't know, Sacha Baron Cohen is Mephisto. If y'all saw in Ironheart, and of course, Black Panther 3 will be out December 15th of 2028. We know Denzel Washington will be the villain in Black Panther 3, but what villain he's playing right now we don't know. But you know, probably comic book experts be like, okay, he can play this villain or whatnot, but yeah, we'll see. Um, let's see. Okay, because they mentioned today they got somebody cast as Storm, but I'm surprised Marvel Updates they haven't put that out there. It was announced like today. That's crazy. They is so behind. Um, let's see. And of course, Sony finally, got off their high horse and start working with Marvel when it comes to doing movies like MCU movies with Marvel Studios and not kind of do their own way. But truth be told, I thought the movies that Sony did were good. Probably the only successful one was the Venom franchise. And of course, their animation with Spider-Man 2 has been, pretty good. And the next one's going to be out next year as well. So, although you had to wait till Secret Wars for the next movie after Doomsday. But then again, you got Daredevil season 3 for next year. Then you got the for the final trilogy of the Spider-Man, animated movie. Then you got Secret Wars, which right now, they still currently shooting Secret Wars, and they also talking with Daphne Keane, who played X-23, to be in the reboot too. So maybe she'll end up, being their version of Wolverine. Which you do have the Wolverine that will exist, which was Hugh Jackman. If y'all saw Deadpool Wolverine, rumors claiming that he'll be in Secret Wars 2, and okay, Beyond the Spider-Verse will be out June 18th of next year. Okay. Okay, yeah, definitely talk about, oh, he won't be the main villains. He'll probably just be like behind the scenes. If you saw like the Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, you had, the devil himself, just be like the background guy, but you had like other, villains and stuff like that. So, okay, so Samara Weaving has been cast as Emma Frost in the X-Men movie. So they say her role will be like a anti-hero. Uh, okay, anyway, so we're just gonna move on from like Marvel stuff because I thought they would have like more than that, but then again, maybe the other Marvel update page will have more. I thought it was, I'll follow them both anyway. So let's just maybe this one will. No, oh god, that's funny. The three richest Marvel characters. Of course, Iron Man, Tony Stark. They say 100 billion. How Thor is on this list? 20 trillion for Thor. And of course, the richest of them all, of course, is, T'Challa, Black Panther, 90 trillion. Um, okay, so maybe that one didn't work out. So let's try this last one before we move to DC. And after that, we're gonna move on from there. Let's see. No. Not thinking about that. Oh yeah, don't forget. They're gonna do in-game encore with new features, new parts in the movie. So that'll be interesting to see. It's out next month. So it'd be funny if they end up, past, the original Endgame, watching. So, okay, yeah, this is no good. So we're just gonna move to DC updates. DC, there we go. El Delca Cure. Hopefully I got it right. Welcome to the live. I appreciate it. Okay, let's go to DC updates. Okay, we already talked a little bit about Lanterns. The series premiere of it will be out this Sunday. You can watch it on HBO or HBO Max. Either one. Yeah, now I want to act funny. So, hold on. Let me move this camera. Put it back. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, DC did win a few awards at I think it was the People's Choice Awards or something like that. Um, it was either the People's Choice Awards or the Critics' Choice Awards. So, Superman won for Best Superhero Movie, and Billy Alcott that plays Supergirl. That was this past June's Supergirl movie. She won for Best Female Superhero. So, okay, for those watching, yeah, this complete schedule for the Lanterns. So, one episode a week. And yeah, the final and 8th episode will be October 4th. Esther 504, welcome to the live. I appreciate it. Of course, they still filming Batman Part 2. Let's see. Nope. Oh god. Wouldn't that be something they made that movie? Superman Red Son. If y'all seen the animated movie, but I know they're probably gonna do a little bit of twist in there because you can't go exactly from the novel and the movie. Because then again, it'll be all spoiled, and part of it how DCU is doing things right now, it wouldn't make sense. So the Blue Beetle anime series is still in development. Which they kind of cheesed that Blue Beetle will be in Man of Tomorrow, which I guess that was end up being false. Uh, let's see. Yeah, they already told you about that. It was Critics' Choice Awards. Okay. Yep, Best Actress in a Superhero Movie. So, yep. So, yeah, congratulations to DCU on those two awards. Okay. Hanging out with a bunch of amazing people today down there at WB. That's Zack Snyder. But you know, you had big fans of the DCEU. Well, like I said, like I did love the DCEU, but I understand why they decided, you know what, not to continue it, and they wanted, you know, reboot it to the DCU. But I get it, and I understand it. I'm not upset by it, and I'm not over here praising like, oh, they're gonna bring it back, like. Because there's an idea that some people were saying, you know, if they bring it back, you know, like in animated form, that's good. But let's see. Superman, okay, Man of Tomorrow will be out July 9th of 2027. Of course, you guys separated from Spider-Man. Um, oh, no, yeah, don't forget, Clayface will be out this October too. So, you know, around good time for Halloween, so this should be interesting. Uh, I forgot they was thinking they was gonna name a the different Batman for the DCU movie. I think they were gonna have it like a different name. I think it was Arkham Asylum. I think I mentioned that last week, but Man Tomorrow is set to resume filming later this month. Oh, I take it they probably took a break. Especially, you know, they got to promote Lanterns. So, you know, understandable. So it's probably gonna be, you know, end up some surprises in Man Tomorrow, like who's gonna be there and all that stuff. But we'll see. Um, DCEU Supergirl is now number 4 on Fandango's digital release chart. Hey, it's up there. Although, you know, some people wasn't fun of the movie, but at least in streaming it's doing pretty good. Booster Gold will still move forward at DC Studios with a new creative team. Oh yeah, we still gotta wait on what's Creature Commando, which is, you know, in development, but I think they probably gonna end up that gonna be coming on probably next year. Yeah, and I gotta catch up on that. All 10 episodes of Batman Cape Crusader.
Summary of what you're doing. The squared circle. A host breaks down the meaning of wrestling.
Oh, me?
That's what TikTok said.
Oh, okay. That's funny. Danny Stack welcome to the live. I appreciate it. Thanks for checking us out. But yeah, normally they will have some more stuff on DC. So yeah, I'm surprised. It's been like a slow couple of weeks on both sides. Because normally, you know, we ain't gonna talk about Warner Brothers Discovery. We already know the issue with that one. And if you don't, the judge did put a hold on Paramount and WB Discovery merging. So, so right now I don't know how long it's gonna be, but I know they want to get it like going at least till at least like before March. For some reason, I don't know. Okay, so whatever on that one. So we're gonna move on from that and just talk about the Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks. So basketball fans out there, I know you're probably waiting to hear from this. So of course, rest in peace to Don Nelson, which Bucks coach from the late '70s throughout the '80s, and it was one of the runs that he was in where the Bucks did made it to the conference finals. Like never with the NBA finals with him in the '80s run, but it was at one point, the Bucks did end up beating the Bulls when they had like Michael Jordan, but that's Michael Jordan's earlier career, so guess they got that to count for. So, but anyway, besides he was coaching with the Bucks, did play as an NBA player with the Boston Celtics. He won 5 NBA championships with them. But after the Bucks, he coached the Golden State Warriors, then Dallas Mavericks. Then I think he was like an assistant for like Golden State Warriors for a bit too. Then after he called it a career. So he'll never be forgotten. Anyway, so this is the full schedule of the preseason of Milwaukee Bucks. So that was released today. So was the Thunder. It all starts October 5th. Now, I believe that's a Monday. Yeah, that's a Monday. They go against Minnesota at home. October 7th, they in OKC going against the Thunder. Because last year they was here going against the Thunder. So, fair point. October 11th, they will be going against Charlotte. October 14th, they will be at home going against Chicago. Well, they always go against Chicago in preseason games, so they ain't nothing new. Then their final preseason game, which they did shorten it up this season, so what just kind of sucks. Oh, George, be quiet. But yeah, it'll be Indiana Pacers at Indianapolis. So those 5 games. So probably up in the coming weeks, not coming weeks, but coming days, the full NBA schedule will be out. You can't wait for that. So anyways, let's look at some Buck stuff and some wrestling stuff at the same time on X. So people gonna end up saying some crazy stuff. And let me move that camera back over there. So just waiting on that. Let's see. Say what you want. At times, Giannis choose not to have this level of commitment to the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo will miss upcoming games for Greece due to a request by the. Yeah, but he didn't want to do it any other time when it came to for the Bucks. Fool. But George said hi. And she's in the zone. Okay, let's see. That's funny. Opening night. Who are you giving the starting nod to a point guard? And the same, I guess Bucks and 4 says the same guard who earned it last year. If y'all didn't know, actually Kevin Porter Jr. did start opening night last year, but at the same game he did get injured. So it's like both guards, prove their worth, and this is like at one point they put both of them at the starting lineup. But you already know the Bucks' issue that they have. Oh, excuse me. They got a big roster that they need to shed down. Let's see, top 10 rookie ratings. Of course, AJ Batista we're gonna get 79, but the Bucks 10th pick, Braden Burris. Pretty boring raw tonight, wasn't it? No, yes and no, yes and no. I think the segment where they had Solo Sikoa, although that was interesting and Jey Uso talking, that maybe that ran a little bit too long. But like other like segments that they was like talking and stuff, it wasn't that much. It was actually like more action than anything, which all y'all wanted, but seems like some of y'all can't even pay attention to that. But anyways, Brandon Burrs, he got the ratings of 2K27, which I don't know. I guess I slowed down on playing 2K NBA for a while because it's just starting. It's not the graphics that's getting. It's like the gameplay and all these rankings that going by around the 2K is just getting worse and worse, and it just doesn't make any sense. So, well, now y'all can understand my reason. I decided, I'm just going back off from playing NBA 2K because, like I said, the ratings and stuff it just gets worse and worse. Oh man. Okay, so let's okay, a little bit of wrestling things, of course, I think y'all probably already know about Chelsea's situation this past Friday. They said it was a move that was done by they just said Laney, I forgot what her name is, but she ended up they did like the cannonball and ended up hurting like the side of her face and part is broken, so they don't know what they're gonna do from there. So maybe on SmackDown this Friday they probably will announce it. So yeah, we'll see. Oh God, Detroit Pistons trade for Ryan Rollins, two-way combo guard, legit sock creator, can make an impact on both ends. It looks like a perfect backcourt fit next to Cade. Oh, and he's from Detroit. Bring him home. Nope, we had dibs. I know that's funny to say, and I like somebody saying about him, Nathan Marzalion. You can't have him. Like I said, all the crazy stuff and with X is always good to watch and all that stuff. Yeah, exactly. He couldn't do this for Milwaukee. Exactly, he couldn't. I don't know. And I hope y'all finally, kind of see this for Giannis that like of course he's gonna be respected and also be like the successful like the best Bucks player of all time at the moment. But now y'all seeing like he doing like shady stuff that he couldn't do when he was with the Bucks. This is like, are you serious? Like seriously. Just stupid. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can understand. Jim Pass is in our Jim Patsy because I think he's been with the Bucks announce team since what the '70s, I believe. I think so. I have a feeling Giannis Antetokounmpo develops a consistent jump shot in Miami. We saw this before too in Milwaukee that he was hitting like consistent threes in practice, but can't hit them in the game. So nice try. The final boss doing everything but return to WWE TV. We actually don't need him, but he did ruin certain storylines for his involvement and then decided, not.
It just occurred to me. I could recreate that scene for True Lies.
Which one? Oh! Ivy, sit down! Oh, God. Yeah, the football had their Hall of Fame this past weekend. But let's say like I didn't pay attention to like who was all in the Hall of Fame, but hmm, Ben Simmons looks like he's in good shape. He invited teams to look at his own training camp just to see if anybody was interested in drafting him. I said the Bucks, but after with their situation with the roster they have right now, no. I wasn't all for it, but they just screw up the roster, and I know some people are gonna hate me for saying this, but I was against the Heat and Bucks trade from the beginning because I knew this roster situation was gonna be a problem, and it just proves me right. Like it's a problem. Um. Okay. Oh. We already knew about. Let's see. The jokes really write themselves. Go sign them papers. You see Jay with Jada Parker. Okay. Oh, 20 years ago today, Bucks are sending Joe Smith to the Denver Nuggets in exchange for Ruben Patterson, which everybody and their mama was upset for because what he did in this past with Denver. Like I said, it sucks to see like Joe Smith go because I thought he was at least decent when he was with the Bucks. Ruben Patterson was something else, but he was proved to be like a defender, but it just like he only stayed for like one season because fans, just some fans just got like crapped all on him, but it's crazy, and it just goes to show that some people just can't move on. Um. Okay, so Norman Powell thought he was gonna be stay in Miami, but fortunately, with their situation, right now they got Bobby Portis on the bench, and they really don't have much of a bench but Bobby Portis. So I don't know how that gonna work, but it's funny at the same time too. Yeah, he won't play for Greece, but screw him. Oh, that's the top 100, but if there ain't no Bucks involved, I'm not interested. Though I hope this is real news, because this whole situation with the Bucks and Peyton Watson, and you got all these fans talk about go get him. No, figure out your roster situation first before you try to get somebody. If you get like a 14 trade, people that take like at least 3 or 4 of your players, then and have like Denver involved with that, then do so. But I don't get it. Do not go for Peyton Watson, because what Denver said, he's going to be worth a first round pick, and right now the Bucks cannot afford to trade any more first round picks. So you know what? Let him go. Move on. Let's see. Lou Dort is taking number 0 in Atlanta's previously worn jersey by Kuminga. If Kuminga hits sign the trade market, should the Bucks go all in? That's another person I want to talk about. No, we don't need Kuminga. Although Beecher report was saying Bucks should be one of the top teams you should be going to, but no, we do not need him. And Davis mentioned Kuminga to the Bucks for years. All these analysts, no. I don't want to get like another undersized forward that be like in the 4 position. No more. No. We saw that with Anthony Mason, and look how that turned out. doesn't work. Okay, oh yeah, he did get robbed for most improved player. He wasn't even in the top three. Watch him being in the top three next year. Like, oh my god. No, just kind of stupid. It really is. Um, oh, it's probably her when starting to feud with the Bellas. So it's probably going to end up being her and Nikki Bella at some point. I'm sad to say, we were coached by Dark Rivers. Not cool at all. Triple H accused of taking fans' criticism too personally. Yes and no. Oh, with Triple H accused of taking fans' criticism too personally.
He should.
The problem is, like, if y'all saw his recent interview, he was like, so the fans should, just try to enjoy it. Which I partially agree with, but if you're gonna feed them the same crap as, Vince McMahon was feeding them into the past, that's why WWE was like in the dark days in the 2010s. And, they kind of finally like woke from it because of the pandemic. Was kind of like the saving grace. But then, we got other, billionaires like TKO kind of ruining things too. So just going back to the same thing as the old regime. What more can we do? But okay. Oh god. Let's see. I had 6 rings. I won without MJ. I'm not no KD or no Bron. I didn't have to jump from team to team chasing championships, which is true. But you didn't. You won them with MJ. I swear, half of these NBA legends look like they on their midlife crisis or something. Just saying some of the stupidest things. Let's see. No. No. Okay, here's a good one. It irks me that he's now throwing a hissy fit about this. He literally had the NBA launch an investigation because he couldn't play with his brothers at the end of last season. And he played for Greece a ton over years, so annoying. Which is true. Like, it's like he ain't trying to prepare himself to play like for the NBA season, but decided, okay, I'm gonna play for my hometown team. And now, refusing to play with them this year so he can focus on playing for the Heat. I swear, it's no. I don't care what anybody said. Like I said, Peyton Watson, no. Leave it be. That's funny. Okay. We already saw that. Oh yeah, for you guys, what y'all think about Tatum Paxley's debut on SmackDown this past Friday? Let's see. Jimmy Hart still believes that Hulk Hogan was booed in the final WWE appearance due to politics. Yeah. Just shut your big mouth about politics and move on. Express Alvar, welcome to the live. And what are you doing, Ivy? You, out of all the dogs, you know you can jump farther than that. So let's see. That time a fan threw a beer bottle at John Cena during his intro. Cena stopped an announcer. Mossman picked up the bottle with a disappointed look and kept going. Security, of course, immediately grabbed the guy and threw him out of the arena. And he's probably banned for life. Moron. Uh, okay. Oh yeah, of course, free agents still available, but like I said, Bucks can't even focus on that until they deal what they can deal with the roster they got right now. So they still got to figure out which two people from the roster spot that they're gonna have to get rid of for the season. And the funny thing is, they let go of Pete Nance, then re-sign them, and now there's talk that they're gonna end up, get rid of him again, which is like, y'all should have figured this out before y'all made that trade. And that's for people like if y'all didn't hear me earlier, I was like, this was one of the reasons I was not happy about the Heat and Bucks trade, because it was going to be a roster problem, and lo and behold, roster problem, and they still couldn't figure out what to do with some of their rosters that they trying to trade or whatever the case may be. Just stupid, and it just gets annoying. That's all it is. Okay, so seems like on TikTok I did pass like an hour. So just a second. There we go. Oh geez. Let's just see if there's any let's see. Streamer JDF from New York vents his anger at WWE management for overusing Denhausen. Oh, shut up. He wasn't even that used that much today. He was just in one segment, and that was it. So, man, stop crying. Because I can understand why people are thinking he was getting overused. Top 5 guys, I'm selling his merch. And of course, meet and greet appearances, people still go for it. And yeah, that's just showing, they want to see their wrestler, they pulling up there. But for you guys that get sick and tired, they get sick and tired, when it comes to because if y'all call it professional wrestling, I call it freestyle wrestling, because that's all it is. And y'all forget about it's sports and entertainment, period. AEW is too, so don't say AEW is like real wrestling. It's not. It's still freestyle wrestling, no matter what you want to call it. Same thing, NWA. Same thing as the independent wrestling. All that is still sports and entertainment, regardless. So, for those who don't like what I'm saying and upset with the truth, bite me. Anyways. Yeah, that's pretty much, what the... Okay, probably gotta watch that another time. Let's see. So, what we're gonna do, ain't much Bucks news as I thought, but there's a lot of wrestling news what we was reading on here. Of course, they got this tournament going on. Penta won earlier against Laredo Kid. And they had the second two matches will be going on next Monday, and probably the Ray Phoenix and El Fiscal match probably gonna happen not this Friday on SmackDown, but next Friday, and probably tournament's gonna go through there. So but okay, let's just get out of X. We're just gonna see if there's any like interesting. Yeah, I just saw that last message. Like the 3-point shot from Giannis is unnecessary. He doesn't even need it. Well, yes and no. Well, only yes because so the critics can finally like shut up about him not able to shoot well from the 3-point shot since his rookie season. But critics are critics, but at the same time, you can't double down on one thing and then end up doing another. So really, only thing news-wise I want to talk about is Elijah Holyfield doing good in Evolve. Then on LFG yesterday, so they gonna take him out of Evolve and have him like wrestle in AAA, which Undertaker does. Think he's the booker and all that too, and like the booker and head of created there. But hopefully he do something big with Elijah Holyfield, and maybe one time he'll get like called up to NXT and go from there. So I'm sorry, like I'm not sorry, but Elijah Holyfield, he impressed me so far. So how you gonna be the famous boxer's son and knowing you a good athlete? So that's good right there. But like I said, we'll see how that goes. This is funny. Y'all, if y'all didn't see Pat McAfee's show today, they had the Brewers pitcher Jacob Misnorski, and they had Miz on there as well. Both called themselves the Miz, and Miz was on a tangent on it like there's like a million nicknames out there. Are you stuck on the Miz? Yeah, it was great. It was great. Of course, WWE did announce like a European tour lead up to the Royal Rumble, which next year's Royal Rumble will be in Phoenix. Well, suburb of Phoenix. Let's see. I'm just trying to think. Let's see. Let's see. Trying to think if there's anything. I think I talked about the Bella Twins last week. Saying that all they do is like go heel, and it's at the point how long would you like want them to be a face, and it's just like just don't make any sense.
Want to learn how to wrestle first. Sorry.
Her words, not mine.
Just slipped out.
Oh man. Well, Bloodline got another member without his willing, which would be none other than Solo Sikoa. He had a match with Jey Uso, so Solo wins. Bloodline will stay out of his business. Jey wins. Solo is, well, they will deliver him to Roman Reigns personally, but I think it's also with the he's with the Bloodline again. Yeah, it's like Jacob had like the same momentum, like going in there, challenge Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight title. End up losing and had to join, them. Hey, fans still love the Bloodline. I get that. But it's like some of these guys actually got to go on their own and succeed on their own. It's like I'm looking at the other people just looking straight at dude like we don't believe you. It's ours. They all ready to be. I was just now realizing that they was all like straight just looking at dude, but not at the Warriors crew.
Oh, we gonna fuck him up.
Was like 8 of the other team, other crew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. It's that scream. No. And before we do end this show, guys, I know I've been a lot critical when it comes to AEW. Well, she think I have the right opinion with to say what I need to say, but the thing is, like, they did like some little tweaks and stuff, but at the same time, it's like they got to do something else, especially Dynamite, because like I did see Dynamite this past Wednesday. Like, you know, still the matches, but still in the same time overselling moves that they not overselling, but like not selling their moves. That's one of the problems. Other problem is like out of nowhere, you know, we're gonna have this match tonight, but like no reason behind it. So yeah, that's like another problem. It's like there's no reason behind, you know, some of the matches that they, you know, oh, we just gonna throw it in there. And not like, you know, long storyline feuds and stuff like that. But with Collision, which I think Collision is better than Dynamite anyway, from across the board, because it's like Dynamite is trying to be more like, you know, how TNA was with like getting their old stars, than, you know, the ones that haven't been pushed up. But that wasn't the case with AEW. They get stars, push them up, the ones that already don't need to be pushed. And, you know, but I'll say this. For those who's on here, I'll say this. How many AEW originals has been world champion? Well, she says none. But the fact is, it was 2. The sad thing is, it was all this year. But then again, you know, MJF is one of the originals. He's been champion before. But, you know, this year he was like, what, champion like twice? So I think he's, 3-time AEW World Champion. And, sadly, although he didn't have that much of a run, which I thought his run should have been longer than a month, was Darby Allin. Like, he deserves a better run than what he had. But typical people you got in your corner in AEW, like, you don't have a good booker in Tony Khan. Should not be the head of creative. They just need somebody else. Solutions LLC. I think I saw you on here last week, but welcome to the live.
Name sounds familiar.
Solutions LLC.
Yeah, I'm sure they were there last week.
Yeah, they were. I just forgot, you know, what they do. But yeah, like All In is shaping up to be okay. And then last Wednesday, they started with the Continental Cup tournament, and a big AEW fan, finally, started criticizing AEW for some of the things that they did wrong. Cause it was like this person, she was like, no, don't criticize anything AEW does, but criticize, what WWE does. And it's like, I'm glad, like, this person, this girl on YouTube finally decided, they're like, okay, AEW is not that perfect, which I mentioned, like, no wrestling company is perfect, but if you're gonna, like, have your sights on, like, criticizing one company and not the other, then, yeah, something's wrong. But that's just me. Um, Come on, reconnect. I say, I know the internet didn't drop that fast. But, well, anyways, I'm gonna, like, end it from here anyway, because there'll really be more stuff to talk about with, you know, wrestling, but it isn't. So, we're gonna end it from here. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I apologize for people that's watching on YouTube that's, got the, due to poor wireless connection, your broadcast has been paused. Consider moving to find a better sender, or you can end the broadcast. Which, what I'm going to do this anyway, so see you later, guys. That's on you. Oh, Sony just came back on. But, anyways, let me say my goodbyes. Thank you guys that were joining up on, WFSO Radio Network on Facebook. Of course, my cousin was on here to chat a little bit about comic books, so that was good. Of course, you think George, he thought like Raw was boring, but I wouldn't say it was like as bad as he thinks. But I'm not saying tonight's Raw was great, but it wasn't as bad as he thought. That's just me. And all those who joined like on my personal TikTok page, we didn't get to 500 likes, so hopefully next time we do it live we'll get there, and hopefully I can do this giveaway. Come on, y'all want some free stuff? Come on. And you guys on YouTube, you know the drill. Like, subscribe. Once again, we're trying to get 1,000 subscribers, so hopefully we can get there. We'll start doing a lot of giveaways, and that would be involving people that would be on TikTok and also on Facebook. Also, click the notification button if you want to know about the live video that premiered, and also other videos that premiere as well. So get a chance, click the notification button. Also, check out the website wrestlingfanspeakout.weebly.com. I did updated it earlier today, so it should be updated. So I'm gonna try to do like updating almost every day. Hopefully you get that chance. But also check out our sponsors too. Midwest Wrestling Collectibles and Great Scott Sports Cards. So they sponsor WFSO. And also I was gonna say, sorry. Maddie's Mary we're a proud sponsor of Maddie's Mary. They got an event October 15th, so more information is on their website, maddiesmary.org or .com, or also you can check them out on Pregnancy Scene and Infant Loss Network on Facebook. So, without further ado, you guys, thanks for watching. Man up, woman up, face up. That, and check on your mental health, which we really do need to check on your mental health. And it's just sad, you still got people that don't understand, mental illness and how bad it is. But, like, look it up through Google. Google is free, so it'll explain everything about, mental illness and all that stuff for those who don't understand it. But, anyway, guys, until the next video, you guys have a good one. See you later, and Y'all have a good one.